Hello, everybody, and welcome back to UAS News. This time, I am going to be sitting here with my good friend, news reporter number 2. Anyways, we're here with our script. We're going to be talking about the regulations of 107 under the FAA.
Categories.
Yeah, operations for this stuff will be governed
solely for
solely-
recreational
yes.
and hobby purposes only.
Not only that, but your UAS must be a small UAS that weighs 55 pounds or less.
If it weighs more than 55 pounds, then it needs to require an exception from the UAS,
FAA.
the FAA.
You're fired. The applicability of 14 CFR Part 107. The operation must be within the United States.
The unmanned aircraft, already said that. Part 107 does not apply to any unmanned aircraft subject to the provisions of Part 101.
Gasp. The rules governing SUAS operated under Part 107 include the aircraft must be registered. I already said that. Must fly only in uncontrolled airspace. That is correct.
Must keep the aircraft in your visual line of sight. You can fly within 400 feet.
Gasp. Must fly during the day. Must fly at or below 100 miles per hour. Now that's fast.
Oh, yeah. Must yield right of way to manned aircrafts because they are bigger.
Yes.
Much
Must
bigger.
not fly over people. Must not operate from a moving vehicle.
Unless approved by UAS.
Of course.
FAA, I mean.
Welcome back. Sorry for those technical difficulties. We're going to hop right back into it. Okay, so next thing on the list is our airman certification. To receive a Part 107 remote pilot certificate for first-time pilots, applicants must be at least 16 years old.
You have to pass the initial aeronautical knowledge exam.
Big words. Complete an online application.
Oh.
Sorry, there's a bit of lag.
Existing Part 661 pilots.
Have completed a flight review within the previous 24 months.
Complete the online training course on the FAAS team website.
You know how to spell.
I can. Complete an online application and validate application identity.
Additional details may be found at the Unmanned Aircraft Systems, or the UAS.
That's a website,
Yes, I know.
but it's not saying the actual thing. That's just a click here if you want to go there.
Next list.
Waivers. The Small UAS Rule 14 CFR Part 107 includes the option to apply for a certificate of waiver, which allows the small UAS operation to deviate from certain operation rules if the FAA finds that the proposed operation can be performed safely under the terms of a waiver.
The following regulations are subject to waiver.
Operations from a moving vehicle or aircraft from the FAA's 107 Rule 25. However, no waiver of the operation will be issued to allow the carriage of property of another by aircraft for compensation or hire.
We're professionals. I'm reading
Daylight
wrong.
daylight
We're professionals.
operation 107 Rule 29.
We're professionals. Visual line of sight aircraft operation, Part 107, Rule 31. However, no waiver of this provision will be issued to allow the carriage, of property of another by aircraft for compensation or hire.
The visual observer, you can or cannot have them. That's the 33rd rule.
Operation of multiple small unmanned aircraft systems. Rule 35.
Rule 37, yielding the right-of-way. I'm not sure how all that links together with the right-of-way, getting ahead of bigger drones, or manned aircrafts.
I don't know.
Not sure.
Rule 39. Operation over people. Literally, like flying over, if you were wondering.
Obviously. Operations in certain airspaces. That's the 41st rule.
Operating limitations for small unmanned aircraft. Rule 51.
Yes.
And for your information, these are not the rules of the internet. Part 107 Airspace
Authorization waiver.
Shutting down.
If you want to operate under Part 107 in controlled airspaces, classes B, C, D, or surface area E, you must apply for an airspace authorization or airspace waiver.
Rebooting. An airspace authorization is short term, up to 6 months, and grants access to a more limited operating area.
An airspace waiver is longer term, 6 months to 2 years, and grants access to a bigger operation area. You must provide additional information to justify the safety of your operation.
FAA will take longer to process your request because more time is needed to perform a safety analysis.
Government UAS operations. Government entities or organizations have 2 options for flying UAS.
Fly under the small UAS rule. Follow all rules under 14 CFR Part 107, including aircraft and pilot requirements. Or
Obtain a blanket public certificate of waiver or authorization, COA, permits nationwide. Flights in Class G airspace at or below 400 feet. Self-certification of the UAS pilot. And the option to obtain a special government interest COA, CGI COA, under special circumstances. Refer to a FAA Order J07. That thing.
7200 Rule 23.
Yes.
He's stuttering. Unmanned Aircraft Systems, UAS, for more information related to SGI COAs.
Thank you for wasting your time listening to us.
Yes, we are professionals, and we hope we get a good grade.
In training.
Yes, professionals in training. Now, if you excuse us, we're going to go and look at the blooper reel.
Obviously.
Next one. The unmanned aircraft must weigh less than 55.
Already said that.
Right.
Part
Okay.
107 does not apply to any unmanned aircraft subject to the provisions of Part 101.
English. Okay, the rules governing SUAS operated under Part 107 include the aircraft must be registered.
I already said that.
Dang it! Must fly.
Option to apply for a certificate of waiver, which allows for a small UAS operation to devise from certain operations. Rules if the FAA finds that the proposed operation can be performed safely under the terms of waiver.
The following regulations are subject to waiver. Operation from a moving vehicle to aircraft. We'll be right back. wait a minute.
What is this
symbol? What is this symbol? And what does it mean? What? Operation from a moving vehicle or aircraft with Part 107 lesson. I said lesson. I was thinking Miss Frady's class.
I don't have that class.
I'm gonna retire. Sorry guys, I'm retiring. He's taking over. I'm gonna be gone.
I quit.